Welcome back. In the local news, the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines is incubating businesses that use technology. So says Minister of Economic Planning, Sustainable Development, Industry, Information and Labor, Camila Gonzalez. Gonzalez, speaking at a town hall meeting in Toronto, said that the government has signed off on almost $2 million in grants to about 16 businesses. Gonzalez told Vincentians in Canada that each business got six-figure grants that want to use technology. The Foreign Affairs Minister said that most of these businesses could not afford the startup cost. He said that they were in no position to go to the banks for loans, nor to purchase the equipment such as computers, cameras, and other associated technology necessary to grow their businesses. There will soon be a ban on catching turtles and the removal of their eggs. Speaking at the handing over of fisheries equipment at the Caliacroix Fisheries Complex on Tuesday, Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves said that Cabinet has already taken a decision of banning persons from catching turtles and removing their eggs. This means it will soon be against the law for persons here to eat turtle meat. Dr. Gonsalves said that there will now be a move towards catching turtles instead of instead of catching and killing them. The SVG National Red Cross Society launched a pilot climate change adoption project at the local Red Cross Society headquarters earlier this month. In audience were participants from the selected communities for the pilot project, stakeholders from the Ministry of Economic Planning, Sustainable Development, Ministry of Education, Forestry Department, the Central Water and Sewage Authority, the CWSA, the Calypsonian Association, the National Parks, Rivers and Beaches Authority, and the National Emergency Management Organization, NEMO.
Whether we want to accept it or not, it is the responsibility of human beings. We are largely responsible for these changes that are happening. Worse, we have not been acting very responsible to the changes that we have created. You look at our little country, for example, and you look at the houses we build and where we build them. Some of the biggest houses I've seen in the Caribbean are in St. Vincent. And most of them sit on the top of hills. We want a panoramic view. And we build these houses. We make no provision to conduct the waterway, so we leave what used to be an area of, say, 800 square feet that water will penetrate into the earth is now 800 square feet of galvanized or concrete. All of that water is channeled into a very shallow slipper drain, and where does it go? Anybody's guess.
In his welcoming address, President of the SVG Red Cross Society, Mr. Bernard Morgan, stated that National Red Cross Society has identified climate change adaptation issues as a priority in their disaster reduction strategy for 2016 through 2020. According to Morgan, the pilot project is entitled Reducing the Impacts of Climate Change Hazards in Vulnerable Communities in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Today marks the launch of this magnificent initiative. I welcome the participation of the UNDP, the Ministry of Planning, the Ministry of Education, Forestry, the Central Water and Sewage Authority, the Calypsonian Association, National Parks and Beaches Commission, the National Emergency Management Office, and the press. We look forward to the fullest participation of the communities in Bukama, Sharps, Chateaubelair, Spring Village, Georgetown, Vermont, and South Rivers. I just pause a little bit here to acknowledge the help that we receive from the Embassy of the Republic of China and Taiwan over the years. We're very grateful, and we look forward to our continued friendship in the future.
Morgan further disclosed that the United Nations Development Programme, the UNDP, through their Global Environmental Facilities, the GEF, Small Grants Program, funded the Climate Change Adoption Project. He said that he expects the fullest participation of the communities in Spring Village, Georgetown, Vermont, Buckament, Sharps, Chateaubelair, and South Rivers. He acknowledged the help of the Embassy of the Republic of China on Taiwan and have given the SVG Red Cross Society over the years. He said, quote, "We're very grateful and we look forward to our continued friendship in the future." General Secretary of the Unity Labour Party ULP Julian Francis says that Igel Adams has had similar accusations of sexual misconduct leveled against him in the past. Francis says that he is aware of who the father of the girl Adams' name was associated with, stating Adams ran afoul with his church over the allegations. Francis did not go into details, and it is not clear if the matter was brought to the attention of the authorities or if there was some sort of settlement out of court. Last weekend, police picked up Adams for questioning but released him without laying any charges over allegations he had sex with an 11-year-old girl. A female security guard was shot in the stomach early on Tuesday morning while working at a business place in Camden Park and is now a patient at the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital. The police say 2 men from the Vermont Valley were picked up for questioning after they were caught in the area where the shooting occurred. If the men are charged, they will appear in court today, Wednesday, and could be denied bail since the security guard is still at the hospital nursing a gunshot injury. St. Vincent and the Grenadines will donate some US $50,000 to Haiti to aid in that country's relief efforts following the devastation caused by Hurricane Matthew. Prime Minister the Honorable Dr. Alf Gonsalves, during his Independence Day address at the 37th anniversary of Independence Military Parade at the Victoria Park, said that the Director General has already received instructions to transfer this initial sum of money to the government and people of Haiti. Hurricane Matthew ravaged the impoverished French-speaking CARICOM country earlier this month, and hundreds of persons have been killed and thousands displaced. Over 600 students here who have obtained the required standards in the CSEC and CAPE examinations will shortly receive their $500 reward. Prime Minister Dr. Alf Gonsalves made the announcement during his Independence Day speech.
On the basis of the 2016 CSEC and CAPE examinations, 629 students who achieve the requisite standard will shortly receive a cash grant of $500 each. So too would the students who pass the associate degree program at the required level at the community college.
Dr. Gonsalves also gave the assurance that the government will continue to grant tuitions, scholarships to eligible students for university studies, and the state-owned economically disadvantaged loan company will continue to grant loans to students. Prime Minister Gonsalves said that soon the announcement will be made with regards to the 100 or so successful in the registered nursing program.
Additionally, for the 2017-2018 academic year, the government will grant tuition scholarships to deserving applicants for university study. Further, it will continue to finance the economic costs for all eligible students at the University of the West Indies. And the state-owned student loan company will continue to grant annually economically disadvantaged student loans amounting to in excess of $4 million to eligible and deserving applicants. All of this, combined with other university scholarships negotiated with friendly overseas governments and supportive institutions, continue to place St. Vincent and the Grenadines on track to have 1 university graduate per household on average by the year 2030. I said to the students, give me ever better results and I will find the money for you to go to university. The relevant authorities in government will shortly announce the 100 or so successful applicants in the aggregate for the coveted places for the new academic year in the registered nursing and nursing assistance programs. The students in the registered nursing program will continue to receive not only a free education, but also a monthly stipend of $1,000. I have been advised that St. Vincent and the Grenadines is the only country in CARICOM with such a generous provision.
The Prime Minister further pointed out that in the new year, the government will announce the names of additional sporting and cultural ambassadors, as well as the naming of some facilities here in honor of distinguished citizens, particularly those that have already passed on.
In recognition of those citizens at home and abroad who have made sterling contributions in the field of sports, culture, education, health, public service, business and community service, we will give very special recognition. So early in the new year 2017, our government will announce the naming of various facilities in honor of our distinguished citizens, particularly those who have gone to the great beyond. We must remember them as part of our exercise of nation building and the further ennoblement of our Caribbean civilization. Announcements too will be made for a few more additional sporting and cultural ambassadors.
More news of celebration. Hundreds of patrons waited until the wee hours of Thursday, October 27th, Independence Day, to see if their favorite contestant would be crowned Miss Young Mother 2016. But in the end, supporters of Miss Sugar Apple Keisha Douglas were the ones who cheered loudly. Douglas, who represented her hometown of Layou, the fifth installment of the pageant was held on the community hard court, smiled and embraced her two children after taking the top spot in the competition that was contested by 6 other young mothers. The 27-year-old, who initially said that she had been asked for 3 years to participate in the show before responding positively, was confident that she would win from the start and said so in pre-show interviews. And more positive news for St. Vincent, the Evangelical Church of the West Indies, the ECW Men's Ministry, will host its annual men's retreat this weekend from the 4th to the 6th of November at the Dorsetshire Hill Evangelical Church under the theme, Men Arise and Take Your Responsibility. The retreat forms part of the 65th anniversary of the ECWI year-long activities. The Men of Excellence Retreat 2016 will commence on Friday evening of the 4th of November from 7 p.m. and ends on Sunday the 6th of November at midday. Retreat presenters are Conroy Huggins, Pastor Wade Carter and Pastor Cameron Cato, along with several panelists within the ECWI. A formal announcement as to the official commencement of the operations of the Argyle International Airport will be made soon. Prime Minister Dr. Alf Gonsalves made this disclosure while addressing the annual military parade held at the Victoria Park to commemorate this country's 37th anniversary of independence.
Be assured, our dear citizens, that the commencement of operations of the Argyle International Airport is imminent. A formal announcement and this will shortly be made. I want to appeal yet again to all public and private sector employees, managers and leaders to lift our productivity and delivery of service. Although the bulk of our people are focused and disciplined at their workplaces, there is still a minority among us who are insufficiently productive.
The Argyle International Airport construction is the largest capital project ever undertaken by any government of this country and was done with the assistance of friendly nations including Venezuela, Cuba and Taiwan. Dr. Gonsalves, Prime Minister of St. Vincent, said that the government's mandate was being implemented in a complicated external and challenging economic and political environment. However, he quoted that his administration continues to put people at the center of its socio and economic policies, especially as it seeks to build a harmonious and just economic system conjointly through the private, corporate and state sectors.
Dear citizens, our government is implementing its mandate in a complicated and challenging external economic and political environment. Progress amidst these complications, contradictions, and challenges often creates a condition for small island developing states like ours that is akin to going up the down escalator. We continue in our government to put people at the center of our socio-economic policies, especially as we seek to build a harmonious and just economic system conjointly through the private, cooperative and state sectors. In this way, we can achieve our goal to construct a modern, competitive, post-colonial economy which is at once national, regional and global in our people's interest.
We'll take a short commercial break, and when we come back, more local news. Don't go anywhere.